Right in the heart of Africa, there's a country that could have changed the world's fate. A place so loaded with natural resources that if just having resources decided your luck, it would be the richest country on the planet. But unfortunately, that's not the case. This country is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Beneath its soil lie resources worth billions of dollars, and its rivers hold enough power to light up half of Africa. Yet, despite all this, Congo remains one of the poorest countries in the world. It feels like nature gave Congo everything except peace, strength, and prosperity. So how did a country so rich in resources end up trapped in poverty and war? It's a really terrible story. A story written with greed and blood. It's about plundering resources, rewriting history, and promises that were never kept. Again, I've got the same request for all of you. This channel really needs your support. So please make sure to subscribe. That's the biggest motivation for us. If you look at the map of Africa, so Congo is right in the center. It's huge. The second biggest country in Africa, covering over 2 million square kilometers. It shares borders with 9 countries, making it one of the most connected countries in Africa. But despite being so centrally located, Congo has only a tiny strip of land that gives it access to the ocean. This narrow piece of land connects it to the Atlantic Ocean. But that's about it. Geographically, inside Congo, there's a whole different world. Nature there is something else. It's a huge treasure. The Congo River Basin, it's such a massive rainforest that it produces about 10% of the world's oxygen. The Congo River is the deepest river in the world. There's so much water here that the electricity generated could power half of Africa. Then there are minerals too. There's cobalt, which is mostly used in electric car batteries, and Congo controls about 70 to 75% of the world's cobalt supply. There's copper as well, used in wires, motors, and electronics. Today, Congo is one of the top 3 copper-producing countries in the world. It produces 2 to 2.2 million tons of copper every year. Gold is also a major export from here. Congo produces dozens of tons of gold annually, much of it coming from small mines. Congo is also a giant in diamond production, ranking among the top producers in the world. Millions of carats of diamonds are mined here each year. The soil here is so fertile that the world depends on it, especially now as we enter the era of renewable energy. If this were any other country, having so many resources and such geography would be a huge advantage. It was supposed to be a blessing. But for Congo, it turned into a curse. Instead of bringing prosperity, these resources attracted enemies, colonizers, and corporations from outside. They all started fighting over the hidden treasures beneath the land. Instead of building cities, schools, and industries, outsiders only built railways and ports to take resources out. And that's where this painful story begins, how the world's richest resource country became the poorest nation. To understand this story, we need to look back into the past. Back in the late 1800s, when European powers gathered in Berlin to divide up Africa among themselves, one man had the idea to build his own empire. That guy was King Leopold II of Belgium. Unlike the other countries that had their colonies, Leopold declared the Congo his private property. He called it the Congo Free State, but Leopold turned this gifted land into a massive labor camp. His soldiers forced millions of Congolese men, women, and even children to collect rubber and ivory from the forests. They were forced into it. Anyone who resisted even a little faced unimaginable cruelty. Villages were burned down, families torn apart, and as punishment for not meeting quotas, people had their limbs chopped off. Historians estimate that during this brutal period, maybe 5 to 10 million Congolese were killed. This was one of the darkest chapters in Africa's colonial history. The wealth taken from Congo, rubber, ivory, and minerals sparked an industrial boom in Europe. The streets of Brussels and London were paved with resources taken straight from the Congo's jungles. The place lit up because of rubber. European princes rode around in cars with tires made from Congolese latex. Europe was getting rich. But on the other hand, Congo was being robbed of its people, its dignity, and its future. In 1908, when the whole world raised an outcry, King Leopold was forced to hand over control of the area to the Belgian government, who renamed it Belgium Congo. The oppression eased a bit, but exploitation continued. Belgium built railways and ports, but not for the people of Congo. Every bit of infrastructure was just for raw materials. Copper, diamonds, and gold were basically meant to be taken out of the country and sold in European markets. There were very few schools, education was limited, and only a handful of Congolese were allowed to have administrative jobs. When Congo became independent in 1960, people celebrated, thinking that freedom would bring prosperity. For a moment, it even seemed like it might happen. The new Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, promised to build a Congo that truly belonged to its people, but that dream didn't last long. Lumumba's call for real freedom. He gave the Western powers a real headache. They were worried they'd lose access to Congo's resources. Within a year, Lumumba was ousted from power and killed. After that, chaos went on for decades. Congo came under Mobutu Sese Seko's control. He changed the country's name to Zaire and ruled for over 30 years. Mobutu presented himself as a symbol of African unity, but his rule was built on corruption and Western backing. Billions of dollars worth of resources were being extracted from Congo's mines, and Mobutu was benefiting from this exploitation. He was stashing billions of dollars in foreign banks, while the people of Congo were struggling just to get 2 meals a day. Even after Mobutu's fall in 1990, this cycle of exploitation never truly ended. In the power vacuum that followed, brutal wars broke out, known as the African World Wars. These wars involved armies and militias from over 6 neighboring countries. Millions died, and once again the reason was control over Congo's resources. By the time these wars ended and new leaders came to power, the same old pattern was already in place. It was all set. Whenever a new resource was discovered in Congo, someone from outside would show up. Instead of helping Congo progress, these resources actually made the country weaker. Economists have a name for this unfortunate pattern. They call it the resource curse. It means that when a country has too many natural resources, instead of getting richer, it often becomes a target. These countries end up being hotbeds of corruption, greed, and endless wars. The money from these resources, which could have lifted people out of poverty, ends up in the hands of just a few. People who use it for their own gain are the ones who suffer. The same thing happened with Congo. Every major superpower had their eyes on its resources. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union sent money and weapons here to control the resources and politics. This didn't stop even after the Cold War ended. It just changed form. Instead of superpowers, private mining companies and warlords took over. They started fighting over the mines here. Everyone wanted to control the supply of gold, tin, and cobalt. As soon as the demand for electronics and electric vehicles shot up, and once again Congo caught everyone's attention. The military took control of the mines. Smuggling became part of everyday business and corruption hit its peak. These minerals kept leaving Congo, but the profits from these exports never made it back home. The people who actually dug up these resources earned only a few dollars a day, while the stuff they extracted was part of industries worth billions of dollars abroad. Today, most of Congo's mines are controlled by foreign companies. Cobalt powers iPhones, Teslas, and laptops, and it comes from this very land. But the people who dig up this cobalt still live without electricity, clean water, or schools. While the rest of the world is progressing, Congo is paying the price for that progress. Nowadays, as the world moves towards renewable energy and electric vehicles, the demand for cobalt and copper has skyrocketed. These are the metals found inside every smartphone, electric car, and solar battery. And the biggest supply comes from beneath Congo's soil. That means whoever controls Congo's mines, who controls that controls the future of the world. This new reality has attracted new players here as well. China has become the biggest investor in Congo's mining sector. Chinese companies control or finance most of Congo's cobalt and copper mines. They've built roads, railways, and power lines. But America and Europe are watching all this closely and are worried because Congo's resources are being shipped out faster than ever. They depend on those batteries and electronics. Those who rely on cobwebs, but they have very limited direct access to this resource, which is why Washington and Brussels want to step back in here through new trade agreements, investments, and critical mineral partnerships. So once again, Congo is caught up in a war, but this time it's an economic war. The players have changed, but the game is still the same. Congo is providing all the resources, but it's not getting any profit. Congo's story isn't just about pain. It's also about lost potential, left out for centuries. People have only looked at Congo's resources. They haven't seen the people, those poor, hardworking folks who risk their lives to extract these resources. They feed their kids but get nothing in return. These people are Congo's real treasure. Even today, Congo has everything it needs to become rich. This river, this fertile land, and these minerals, all of it could still change Congo's destiny. But for that to happen, this cycle has to be broken. Now, Congo's story needs to be written not by anyone else, but by the people of Congo themselves. It should have been the richest country in the world. Yet it became a land where, despite having everything, only poverty and sorrow remained. But maybe now is the time for Congo to get justice. The world has taken so much from this land, its precious elephant tusks, its rubber, its copper, its cobalt, and the blood of its people. What if just once the world gave something back? From now on, whenever you unlock your phone, drive your car, or charge your battery, remember that a piece of Congo is powering your life. Maybe it's the soil or the sweat and blood of the people there. After all, how long will the world keep taking from a nation that has already given everything? Congo doesn't need the world's pity. It needs justice. And the day the world realizes this, nothing can stop Congo from becoming rich. See you soon with another video on a similar topic. Take care. Allah Hafiz.